Well, hello Internet, and welcome to part 5 of my Python Tkinter tutorial. In this part of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create menu bars, how to trigger functions from menu bars, using checkboxes, radio buttons, adding shortcut keys to menu bars, and message boxes, and a whole lot more. And I have a lot to do, so let's get into it. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like on Windows, and you can fast forward to the end of the video if you want to see what it looks like on Mac. But basically, we're going to be able to come in here and select File and Open or Save or Quit. All those are going to work. You're going to be able to click on View, and then you're going to be able to click on a checkbox to both check it as well as uncheck it. As you can see right there, you're going to be able to go over here, and also these are going to act as radio buttons, where if you click on one, the other ones are going to get unchecked. You're going to be able to come in here and open up message boxes, like you can see right here. And you're also going to be able to use shortcut keys to also open up those message boxes. Alright, so I have a lot to do now, so let's jump over and write some code. Okay, so as you saw, everything's going to work exactly the same on Windows as well as on Mac. It's just the location of the menu bar is going to be different. So I just need to import some modules here. And this one's going to be specific to being able to work with message boxes. And there we go, and now I have everything that I need, and I've covered all these in the past. Now the very first thing I want to do is, let's say you want to quit your application. This is an example of a function that is going to allow you to quit your application. And to quit it, all you need to do is go root and quit. But I guess I should define our root window, which is of course going to be our main window. And to create it, you just go root is equal to tk, exactly like that. And then of course you're also going to need your main loop. Well, let's also go in here and put a title in first, so title. And I'm just going to call this menu bar example. And then your main loop, which is going to loop until somebody decides to shut down your application, is defined exactly like this, like we did previously. Now let's create a couple other different functions inside of here. I also want to create a function that's going to open up a message box so I can demonstrate that. So I'm going to say show about, and you're going to have event none. And the event none is just going to provide me some flexibility if I decide that I want to use the event in the future. And then to open a message box, I'm going to choose show warning for this. I can put a title for my message box, and then afterwards the message that I want to put in here. So I could say something like, isn't this an awesome program? Okay, so now let's go and start adding to our menu bar. What I want to do here first is create my menu bar. So I'm just going to call this the menu. And how you create it is just calling menu and then passing the main window or root into it. And I'm going to take this guy right here, copy that, and throw it right inside of here. And now I'm going to first add to the file part. So let's just put a mark here that says that this is the file part of the menu. What I want to do first is create a pull-down menu that I'm going to then add different other drop-downs to. So I'll say file menu, call menu. I'm going to list the menu it's going to be added to, and then afterwards it's possible sometimes to tear off parts of the menu. I'm going to mark this as tear off equal to 0 so that it can't do that. Then if I want to add some items underneath of file, I just go file menu, add, and command. And then I'm just going to put some labels inside of here that are not going to be tied to anything specific. So I'm going to have open, and I'll show you how to trigger functions here in a minute whenever these items are clicked on. So I'm going to have open, and then I'm going to have save. You can also come in and add like a separator. So let's say I wanted to add a horizontal bar between items in my menu. I just go file menu again and add separator, and there it is. Then I'm going to copy this and I'm going to handle quit, and quit is actually going to call for this function up here to execute. So I'm just going to change this to quit. And then if I want to call a function just like we have in the past, I'm going to say command is equal to, and then I'm going to say that I want that function to execute. And then the final thing, to add file to our main menu, I just go the menu, add, cascade, and I give a label to it, which is going to be file. And then after that, I list the menu that I want to add, which is the file menu, which I created right here and added to right here. Okay, so pretty simple stuff. Now let's go and do another one. And this one's going to have a checkbox inside of it. And this is going to be the view part of our menu. And I'm going to be doing pretty much the same things. First, I have to come in and create the menu itself. So just copy, paste that there, change this to view menu. After that, I want to add a checkbox option, and I'm going to store the value for that checkbox. Let's say I'm going to go and allow them to turn line numbers on and off. So I need to create that variable, which is specific to Tkinter. I'm then going to set the default for line numbers to 1, which is going to be checked. And then I want to add my check button to my view. So I'm going to go view menu and then add underscore check button. Inside of the check button, I'm going to have a label, and it's going to be line numbers. And then after that, what I need to do is tell it what variable is being used to store the value, whether the check button is on or off. And that's it. Or it's actually line numbers. There we go. And then I just need to add that to our main menu. So I'm just going to copy this again, throw that right there, and I'm going to change this to view. And then I'm going to change this to view menu. See, pretty much the same stuff over and over again. So we can copy this. And now we're going to handle our font menu. So let's just change this to font. And all the code is available in the resources section, of course, along with a PDF that is heavily documented with what's going on with this code. And this is going to be a string variable, which is going to store whatever font we have currently selected. I can come in here and go and set the default font, and I'm going to set it to Times. I'm then going to create my pull-down menu specific for font. Again, we're just going to come in, go call menu, tie it into the main menu, tear off, again, is going to be equal to 0. And then I just need to define all my radio buttons. And the way radio buttons, of course, work is whenever you click on one of them, it shuts all the other ones off. So again, font menu, add, radio button. I have to give it a label. Of course, we're going to have times as an option because we already said that's our default. I'm going to tie it in. The variable is going to be tied into whatever the value of text font is. And let's say that I would also like to call a function just to add some additional functionality here. And what this function is going to do is just display that the font has been changed and what it specifically does. So I'm going to say define, change font, event none again. Just means I'm not accepting an event, but I'm open to it in the future. And anytime the font changes, we're going to say font changed to, and then we'll list the font. And how we get that value, of course, is going text font and get. And that's all that is going to do for us. So down inside of here, what are we going to do? Command. We're going to call command is equal to, and what is the name of the function? Change font. So let's just copy this, come down here, paste it in. And that's it. Now we just have to do that for as many fonts as we would like. So let's just do 2 of them just to do something. So I could change this to Courier, and let's change this to Arial. And then I just need to add this to our main menu, just like we did before. Paste that inside of there. We're going to change this to font, and then change this to the font menu, like we have right there. All right, good stuff. Now I'm going to also create a help menu. Let's call that help. Again, we're just going to come in and use this guy right here. So we might as well just copy it right there, and we'll just change this to help menu. Then what I want to do is set it up so that whenever the about is clicked on, it is going to call this function, show about up here, but it's also going to work with a shortcut key. So I'm going to say help menu and add, and specifically add command. And I'm going to say label is going to be equal to about. I'm going to type in accelerator is equal to, and here I'll put my shortcut key. So I'm going to say Command A, and then the command I'm going to tie this to is show about. And the only thing Windows users are going to have to change about this is anytime you see command, instead, if you're on Windows, put control, and anytime you see option, go and put alt. Okay, so that's how those differ, and everything else will be the same. I then need to add my help to our menu bar. So the menu, add, and this is going to be Cascade again. Have to put a label on it. That label, of course, is going to be help. The menu that I'm going to tie to it is going to be our help menu, which we just defined. Then what I need to do is bind my shortcut, this guy right here that I defined, to the actual function we want to execute. To do that, you go root, bind, and then again, Windows users are going to type in control here instead of command. And I'm going to do Command A. And then what I want to trigger whenever that Command A is clicked on is the show about function. And I can go and copy this, paste that in there, and it will also work now for lowercase a. And then to make my menu show on the screen, I just go root and config and say menu is equal to the menu. All right. And if I run this, and I have one little bug, I want to get rid of these parentheses, so delete that and run it again. Now you can see here is our menu bar. And you can see also the difference between a menu bar system on a Mac versus Windows. We're going to be able to go File and Open and Save, don't do anything. I'll get back to quit in a second. You can see here that I click on the line numbers that it both checks and unchecks. You can also see if I come to Font and click on Courier, it goes and sticks and it unchecks what's there before it. We can also go to Help and About, and you can see a little message box opens up. We can click that, it'll close. And I can also click on the shortcut keys to get the message box to open. There you go, guys. So that is how you can do all kinds of things with menu bars with Tkinter, and I'll be doing a lot more here coming up very soon. And like always, please leave your questions and comments below. Otherwise, till next time.